Hello and welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. I'm Dan. I'm joined by Isaac today. We've been watching Chelsea versus Newcastle. A slim win for Chelsea, 3-2, but this is player ratings. Obviously, a narrow win for Pochettino. Doesn't change much for me, but we're not focusing on him right now. We're going to get into the players. Isaac's got the squad up here. I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Drop your ratings in. Let me know if you agree with mine as well. This video is sponsored by Match Bingo, and there's a message from our sponsors. This video is sponsored by Match Bingo. Match Bingo is a great way to bet responsibly on the football. You get a bingo card with events that might happen during a football game. It could be yellow cards, it could be goals, it could be fouls, anything like that. If you manage to tick all of them off on your bingo card with similar rules to how bingo normally is, you will win up to £175 off of just a £2 bet, and you're limited every game to £10 only. So it's a really, really good way to bet responsibly. Make sure to download the app in our link in the description down below. Remember to gamble responsibly and make sure to read the terms and conditions that do apply. Remember, the link is in our description down below. Okay, right, let's get into the team. So, goalkeeper, obviously Petrovic. Yep. You're going to read the team out to me as we go through them, but I thought Petrovic had an okay game, beaten by two worldies, and for me, couldn't do much more than what he did. The only thing I'll say is, when you see him press like that when we're playing out, it's a tough one. You see his weaknesses a little bit, but a so-so game for me. He's let in 2 goals. I'm going to give him a 5. I don't think he's done exceptionally well in today's game.
He didn't pull off like any world.
He didn't pull off really any saves, and the game wasn't cost because of him as well and his performance. So, look, a 5 for me. There's limitations to his game, and I feel like that's a position that can be worked on. We're not settled in that goalkeeper position, but yeah, let's move on into the back four. Cool. We return to that actually, and it's good to see us go back to a back four.
Yes.
I feel like we look better.
A different back four, but a back four. Right, I'm going to start off with the return of Cucurella.
Yep. Cucurella, he's very lucky in a way because he's come back literally as Chilwell gets injured. And these two have never had to compete, have they? There's never much competition in this squad with all the injuries. But I feel like straight away we saw a difference defensively on the left-hand side. I feel like Cucurella's actually had a really good season. He got interrupted with this injury and he's obviously had the operation now. But it's good to see. It's good to see a bit of solidarity.
He didn't look like he'd been out for months, did he? Just the way he was running around.
He looked fit. He was winning his challenges. Look, he's messed up for the goal, but I'm going to give him a 6 because I feel like for most of the game he was okay today, and it was good to see that. And I feel like he just offered a bit more defensively than what Chilwell's been offering. Going forward, they're both pretty limited though.
Fair enough. Cool. All right, moving across then. We saw him the other day, but Chalobah.
Yeah, Trev's had a good return. I quite like what he's been about recently since he come back in. I feel like he actually looks quite mature compared to everyone else. Even though age-wise he probably isn't. He's probably around the same sort of age. I feel like he's been there and done it though, and he was with a lot of the players that did win the Champions League. Obviously he wasn't there, but he's been around Tuchel and he's been around serious players and winners. And he's kind of like one of the last players that saw what it was to be properly Chelsea. Yeah. And I feel like he's had another good game today. There's 1 or 2 defensive clearances that look a bit shaky to me, but I think he's still a bit shaky. But ultimately, in the last few games we've had since he was returned, I've been happy. And again, pretty similar sort of level. I'm giving him a 6.
6, okay, cool. Disassi.
Disassi. I want to back Disassi so much. I love him. I think what he brings to the team is really good. He needs a calm person next to him. If someone's erratic next to Disassi, he becomes erratic. He becomes not certain in what he's doing, and it worries me. I feel like Trevor's actually given him a little bit of certainty, but not too much to write home about Disassi today. I feel like you do see his limitations, though, in this system when we're trying to play out as well. It's not his strengths. He's better off. He's good on the ball, but not with that much pressure on him that close to goal. So a 5 for me.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, just quickly on that, do you think that the recent pairing of him and Chalobah seems to be working? Or
today was okay. Look, we've let in 2 goals, and I feel like when we've chopped and changed the defence so much, you can't really expect too much. But yeah, defensively today, the errors and the mistakes that have led to the goals, I don't really feel like they've come from the defence making huge errors in terms of when they're defending. I don't think it's been great.
Just like a singular error.
And I don't think Disassi's been at fault for anything like he was in recent weeks. So I'm going to give him a 5. I think it's a solid performance, and a 5's right slap back in the middle.
Cool. And then finally, at the back.
Yeah.
Arguably one of Chelsea's best players at the minute. The mighty Malo Gusto.
Oh, what a player. What a gem we found here.
I know.
Honestly, if you just said Reece James... Reece James has been getting injured for a few seasons now, and we've struggled, and everyone thought, what's the point in signing him? He's just going to be covered. I think Reece has got a serious bit of competition
100%.
trying to get back into the team.
100%.
Gusto's been unreal. His crossing is delightful from any position. The energy he's bringing on that right-hand side. Defensively, I think he's okay. I think there's a lot to work on. I think there's inexperience in his game. I think that led to one of the goals today. I don't think it was good enough. I will say Gusto, however, going forward, adds so much more than any of the other defenders right now. And for that, I'm going to give him a 7. I just like what Gusto brings to the team. And without him, I feel like you do notice Chelsea lose a lot to their game, especially with Cole Palmer, who cuts in a lot from that side. Gusto is providing a lot of width and a lot of energy. And I feel like he's worthy of a 7, even if he's making a mistake, because his performance could have been an 8.
Yes, definitely. I think he gives us a bit of character as well, doesn't he? Like,
yes, he does, yeah.
You kind of look at him and you've got an idea of what he might do, whereas
Fans
the other
love
players
him.
you just never know.
Yeah, fans love him. They got a song for him now, and he's got a bit of personality, which is what I love. Chelsea have been renowned for having players with a bit of personality, so
Wicked.
yeah, boosts his rating a little bit.
Yeah.
Midfield.
Enzo.
Oh, Enzo's so frustrating for me. Another game that I feel like he could have dominated tonight, and I feel like he's gone a little bit under the radar. A couple of passes were really poor again. I don't think we're seeing the best of him. However, I don't think he was as high up the field and as out of position that he ended up being against Brentford. I'm going to give Enzo a 6. It's not anything to write home about. I think he picked up a booking as well, so it's not the best game he's had, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's an okay performance. But every time you watch him play, you aren't seeing the player that's worth that price tag, are you? And it's tough. Is he a flop or not? That discussion's definitely up for debate. Let me know in the comments if you think he's a flop.
And then his partner in crime, Moises Caicedo.
Yeah, this guy's getting better and better for me. I really like what he's bringing to the team. He's bringing, like Gusto, he brings a lot of energy. He's defensively, his recovery is great. He's always there. When it looks like there's a bit of trouble, he's about, which is a similarity to Kante. That's what Kante had. When there's always a bit of trouble, you would always know who was going to be about. And it doesn't matter what side of the pitch that's on, Caicedo's there. I feel like he's in a very rigid role under Pochettino. I don't think he's been great on the ball going forwards, but he looks a lot calmer now than he did when he first come in. And again, another solid game. I'm going to give him a 7. I like what he's bringing to this Chelsea team. And I think today we saw what he does. He locks up that tightly defensively. And without the mistakes, we would have looked really solid tonight. Those mistakes are real anomalies against this Newcastle team today, because he was pretty controlling in terms of being off the ball and winning it back and just getting us on the counter-attack again and trying to create attacks and moving us forward and further up the pitch. I like that from Caicedo. It's definitely a strength of his game, and he's getting better and better.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. And then the final middleman.
Yep.
Skipper. Conor Gallagher.
Conor is again one of these players that Pochettino loves. He brings the energy, he brings the fight. He's a warrior. For me, Conor's had an average night tonight. He's not done loads, but when Conor has an average night, you're always looking at about a 6 or a 7 anyway. Yeah. He always kind of gives you the bare minimum of a good performance. I feel like he very rarely he has a very bad game or a bad game, because his standards are quite high. It's just he doesn't have the quality to be exceptional in most games that he plays. He's worked a couple of chances. What people don't see with Conor Gallagher, and I always pick this up, is he does not stop.
Yeah.
It's constant running, and you can be like Sterling and not do that, and your rating just drops off a page for me. And I gave Conor a really good rating against Brentford because I watched him all game just run and run and run when other players stop. And again tonight, run and run and run and run, and his quality stays pretty consistent throughout. He's not exceptional, but I'm going to give Conor a 7 as well. I feel like he had a pretty good game. Doesn't create loads, but look, for what Conor brings to that team, half the time you see Conor Gallagher is the man who is leading the press from that position. So, yeah, I like what Conor brings to the team. I feel like actually going forward, most of the players are pretty good tonight and pretty complete in their performance.
Nice. Are we going to see Conor Gallagher in a Chelsea shirt next season?
I don't think we are. I've just got a bad feeling about it. I feel like this is a very similar sort of moment in the season as we were with Mason Mount.
Yeah.
And it just feels like history might repeat itself. But
I hope not.
No, I hope it doesn't. I like Conor, and I feel like if we're letting him go, it kind of proves that we're heading in the wrong direction as a club for me. Look, he might not start every game, but top player.
Did we get a rating for Conor? I don't know. What did you give him?
I said 7.
7, okay,
yeah.
Cool, nice. Cole Palmer.
Oh, Cole Palmer had a great game tonight for the majority of it. There's times when you feel like he could have easily got a couple more chances created, or an assist or a shot here and there, but yeah, a good all-round performance, a goal which is unreal. He was trying that all night. We kept picking up on that. He was trying it and trying it to come off. I'm giving him an 8. A really good performance for me, but I do see limitations in this game that I think he's already really good. Imagine how much better he could be with a little bit of...
Do you think he's coming a little bit predictable? We were all sat there saying, we know what he wants to do. He wants to cut inside and take a foot on his left shot.
Do you know what, mate? You can be predictable, and we've had it in the past. We had the best in the world at doing that, is Robben.
Yeah.
Robben made a whole career off of cutting in. Yeah. It's just, when are they going to do it? When are they going to shoot? What's going to happen? And if you're good enough, you can keep doing it and have one foot. But there are times when you realise how much better you could be if you could go on that right foot. But yeah, great performance from him for most of it.
Nice.
That's really like nitpicky, isn't it, saying he doesn't have a weak foot? But yeah.
Raheem Sterling.
Oh, Raz. Look, he ain't going to the Euros, I'll tell you that. If Southgate was there tonight, that's it done.
Like, he was there. I think we saw him at one point.
Right. He ain't going. That's a moment for me. Like, you're looking at all these other players that are levels above Raheem Sterling at the moment, and I want to back Raheem Sterling, and I'm not going to boo him, but he's not been good enough. I'm going to give him a 5 tonight. I think he missed that chance. And he just didn't add much to that game. There's times when he's going forwards and you don't know what he's going to do, and then he does nothing. And it's just so uninspiring.
When those moments cost you the game, it adds a lot more pressure, doesn't it? I think if we hadn't have won tonight, we'd be going about the missed chances.
I think he's awful. I think he's been really bad, and I genuinely think he is the type of player that you don't want around this team at the moment, because his head is dropping, and there's a bit of an ego there. And other players are working hard and trying to keep going, like Conor Gallagher. Raheem Sterling's the complete opposite. So yeah, it's an awful rating for him today, and deservedly was subbed.
Cool. And then next to, I think it's probably going to be a little bit higher than that. We spoke about him a lot already. Jackson. Yeah,
Jackson's my man of the match tonight. I think he was really good. I think when a striker leads the line like he did, got a cheeky little goal, but his all-round play was really, really good. And I feel like even for the final goal that was MUDRYK's, he was exceptional in what he did. He held the ball up well. He released it at the right time. I'm giving him a 9. I thought he was really good. If you ask me what I expect from a striker and a number 9 to lead the line on his own, it's that. Run the channels, hold it up centrally, score goals, win headers. It's perfect. That's what you want. I want that every week.
Yes.
We'll go on to the subs, because there was a couple today. But
sorry, just one last thing on Jackson. Just a quick answer. Is that the best performance you've ever seen him in a Chelsea shirt?
Yeah, I think most complete.
Probably
I think he might have had better goals.
It's a tougher opposition as well.
Yeah, I think that's the most complete he's looked. If you got that every week, you'd be over the moon, because you'd get 20 goals a season if you played like that every week.
Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm going to leave who I think is going to be the best till last. Probably who you think would be the best till last as well. So we'll start with Castellet.
Yeah, look, he just had to come on. I think he's cup-tied for the weekend. He only adds height for me at the moment. He's not playing, he's not looking really, really sharp. He hasn't got much of a relationship with many players on the pitch. I'll give him a 5. Didn't really do too much, did he, when he come on?
It's very little you can do. I think he came on here 86 minutes. So he's had, 10 minutes?
5's lucky. You could almost go no rating on him and Carnes tonight.
Carnes came on in the 91st.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to give him a rating. I don't even think it's fair. Like, I don't know how many times he touched the ball. A real good player, by the way. He'll obviously move on and do better next season, I think, if he can stay fit. In this team, by the way, I don't think he'll be alone.
Yep.
I think he'll just move on in terms of his career.
Cool. And then that leaves us a bit more time then on MUDRYK.
Yeah, MUDRYK was really good. He come on, like I said in the video on my channel, I felt like it's the first time, or one of the first times I've seen him come on and be better than the player he come on for. Normally, Sterling plays awful. MUDRYK comes on and it's about the same sort of level. Today, he made a real difference. He picked up that space in the 10. He got on the ball in wide areas as well. Scored a great goal. Like, the footwork for that goal is exceptional. The nutmeg, the finish, the calmness, the composure. He had everything in that goal that he normally lacks all game. Every performance we see, I don't think he's been good enough, but today, I'm giving him a 7. I feel like he's really good. If he'd been on the pitch the whole game and played like that, he'd probably be higher up. But look, great goal, and ultimately sealed the win for us, and it was the winner.
Do you think that puts him in the starting lineup for the
weekend? I think it does for the weekend. I think it does. I think Sterling was so poor. You go with the same team. I think maybe Enzo might not be able to play. But yeah, look, it might mean that Connor and Caicedo play in that deeper role, and MUDRYK plays in the 10. And that'd be good. If we're rating Pochettino as well, which I like to do, I'm going to give him a 6.
Okay.
Because I feel like actually he got half-time right today. Still don't think it was great, but credit where it's due. He's been awful at half-times recently, and yeah, big improvement for him in terms of getting half-time right and ultimately helping to win us a game of football, which is what he's meant to do as a manager. But
there's not many left of the season. So
no, 6 is generous as well. I'll take that one, Poch. I will catch you in the next one. Remember to like and subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV.